Welcome to Safe and Sound, sponsored by White Mountain Fire and Life Safety. Today on the show, we have Jimmy Bevel, founder, and Jared Bradford, both from Blue Vase Recovery Center. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Glad to be here.
Really excited you guys came on.
We're pumped about it.
It's a great project.
It is.
That you guys do, and it's a way of life now.
It is. It's our lifestyle.
So, Jimmy, tell me a little bit about Blue Vase and how it came about.
Well, the name is a whole different story, but my brother and I started this business, and it was one of those things that we wanted to stay sober because we've had so many things in our past that we just felt like we needed to get connected a little bit different in this community. And with that, we realized, hey, you know, how can we help the community in the White Mountains? What is a huge need? And we just realized that, man, there's just so much going on with the drug usage up here and alcohol life. And so we figured, hey, what are our thoughts about maybe running an intensive outpatient facility for 6 months? Have a couple homes here in the residential area here in Show Low, and see if we can get connected with some of the doctors and some of the psychologists here and see what we can do. And it started really, really small. And it was about 1.5 years ago we started, and we just realized, hey, this is something good. We started creating some pretty neat philosophies, and we come from an athletic background that has helped us in our sobriety. And we also we're pretty connected with the community, and we realized that connection and bonds were really, really important. And so over time, this just kind of took off. And my brother and I really simply wanted to remain sober. And we were like, man, if we could just help 1 or 2 people and just help them out and get them back on their feet, we would feel really, really successful, if you could call it that. And next thing you know, guys and girls just started to show up.
You guys filled the gap.
We filled the
large
gap. We think it's a large gap, and we think we're just getting started.
Absolutely.
But it's really one of those things that the name Blue Vase comes from just an old story that we were raised on, and it's just about a World War I veteran that goes through all these obstacles, and he was asked to get this blue vase. And just like in our sobriety, having to go through all these obstacles and the difficulties of just getting sober and not beating an addiction, but living with one and understanding it and getting more comfortable with your own lifestyle and making some behavioral changes, not just, okay, I'm going to be sober, because it's not just about that. It's finding new ways to live your life. And we've been having a lot of fun with it, and we've found some success, I guess you can call that, but the graduates, which we brought one here with us, and really seeing how it works. And early sobriety is a very, very sensitive thing, and it's been neat to see. But man, I mean, I could go on and on about it, but really that's kind of where we started, just in the back room of my brother's house, and we're just like, you know what, we need more than this. There's got to be more to us, and we feel like with our personalities, it just works, and next thing you know, people just kept showing up. Really what it boils down to.
Yeah.
And Jared, how did you find out about Blue Vase? How did you come in contact?
Really, it was God that brought me in contact with Blue Vase. I'm an addict, and I'd been looking for help down in Southeast Arizona, and was kind of really put off several times by an organization that I was trying to go through. And the day I was due to go check in for admittance, I went in and was again told that it would be another 7 to 10 days, and I was just at a breaking point. I was at my rock bottom, and I knew that I wouldn't make it another day out there. And a Blue Vase now graduate client then, we had gotten in contact through Facebook, believe it or not. She had recommended the program, and it had done a lot for her. I had talked with Brock Bevel, the other founder, a couple of times that day, and had basically told that if I could make it up to Show Low and was committed for 6 months, that they had a place for me. And I showed up at 9 o'clock the next morning and was interviewed by some of the staff there, and then had to sit in front of the group of the current clients and more or less kind of be voted in. Had to tell them my stories, what I wanted to achieve out of sobriety, out of life, and really find out what my reasons for being there were. And then as I say, the magic happened. You know, it took a lot of work and effort to go into it, but Blue Vase Recovery Center, the staff, the family I have there now, really, I'm not going to say made it easy, but they showed me the love and unconditional support that I hadn't really had before, that, you know, kind of allowed that catalyst to change my life.
It's more personal, it seems like.
Extremely. From the moment that I was in there as a client, you know, I felt that, don't get me wrong, I have an amazing family, but in your addiction, it wants you alone, it wants you secluded, and that's exactly where I was. I felt I didn't have anywhere to turn besides within myself, and that's a scary place to be when you're an addict. And like I said, from day one, these guys just showed me so much love. I mean, there's so many open arms and minds and hearts there that it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Blue Vase when you guys were helping at the White Mountain Community Garden set stuff up, and I was like, how'd you get, Anna Banks, who owns your hometown Steers, brought like 17 of you guys out. I'm like, how'd you get all these guys? And then she told me what it was, and then I started talking to you, and it's really, I mean, you're filling one of the most serious needs we have up here. And what you're doing and what you're building is through these men.
We're not building it. God's there for us. I mean, that's what it boils down to. He put this in motion, and we're just here to get out of the way and let it happen. Once we take control, that's when we don't do very well. So we just want to get out of the way and allow things to continue to grow, the philosophies to grow, the personalities that we have, all walks of life. It's just very, very unique. But we all can come together in the service and come together in sobriety and taking the new just a new approach and realizing this mountain needs this so much. And we didn't really realize it until people just kept showing up from the community saying, hey, we've seen your guys. Hey, we've seen your ladies. Hey, this is impressive. How can we help?
Yeah.
And it's been unreal since then. I mean,
I was one of those, definitely.
Right.
Yeah, you guys have impressed the community. And I know that at first it's a little hard because people don't, especially up here in a small community, they don't want to admit we have a problem.
sure.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, addicts don't want to admit they have a problem. You know what I'm saying?
We're really good at that.
Yeah, you know, so I could understand and see how it would be hard for an entire community to admit something like that. But, you know, acceptance is key. You know, kind of once you accept and realize that there is a problem, it starts to allow you to be able to put together a plan to how to overcome that. You know, and it's not something you're ever going to have a complete win over, and that's one thing that needs to be understood. You know, it's a constant work, it's a daily battle, and it's not something that you ever graduate from. Although I did graduate from the program, you know, sobriety is something that's going to be something I work at for the rest of my life. But just as Jimmy said several times, you know, the opposite of addiction is not sobriety. It's connections and bonds. And, you know, by being able to be out in the community, serving at the White Mountain Community Gardens, serving at homes, you know, for the community here is really the church has really allowed us to get back out there and feel a part of something and not want to be ashamed. And it's really nice. Like, I don't know, you guys say that you're amazed by us. It's really great how much the community has accepted us, because I'm not local, I'm an import, so to speak, you know what I mean? But I feel like this is now my home, and it has a lot to do with Blue Vase, but I think it has more to do with the community and the way that they have accepted us and what we're doing, and we'll walk and work alongside of us.
We couldn't do it. We could not do it. And I get chills thinking about it, but we could not do it without the community. If not, we'd just be in our own little area, in our own corner, and not making any changes. And the community has allowed us to just spread our wings and really do what we say we're going to do, and that is get reconnected. And they've allowed us to come into their lives, and it's just getting started. But like you said, the opposite of addiction is not just being sober, it's connections, bonds. We need the community more than ever.
Yep.
And now that we're growing, you see the community stepping up even more. It's incredible, but that's God's work. It's not us. It's just how can we help?
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing to see, and I know back in my day, I knew quite a few guys that could have really benefited from this program that are now either in prison or no longer with us, and it's a blessing that you guys are here in this community. Now, you had mentioned earlier that it was a lot harder to get into other programs because you were actually looking for help.
Yes.
So why is that?
I don't get it. It was wild. Even still, I was open to that because I just knew that I needed help. I didn't really care where it came from. I just knew that I needed help, and that's something I find different about Blue Vase, is because they do accept you with open arms. There is a process that you have to go through, but it's not anything like what I had been through with the other people. You know, it's more of how are we going to grow together?
Can we heal next to you?
Can we heal next to you, instead of how much money are we going to make off of you, and is there available and open bed? You
You're
know,
absolutely right. Yeah.
there's, you know, I don't know how many guys in there now, 14, 15
15,
guys.
and that's
in there?
usually where we stay.
Yeah.
Because we want to be able to know Jared and know Michael, etc. We want to know them for them.
Yep.
And if we just get too big, then we
Yeah.
lose that integrity. And
Right,
so
right.
constantly thinking about that. That is one of the biggest things that we can offer is, hey, we don't want to get too big. We want to be able to make sure that you're not a number. We want to make sure that you know you have a name, that you have a purpose, and that you're unique, but we're all going in the same direction and we can heal next to you. When he did come in, and when everybody comes in, they do get interviewed by our current clients.
Yeah.
My brother and I run the business. All we're doing is keeping the lights on. Our clients run the program. And so they realize they have a purpose, and so that we have a brand.
Yep.
And so it's like any other brand, good or bad, you can hurt it or give it a lot of success, and that's what our clients are doing. And they're realizing, hey, we're in the community, and when they interview, we're going to be out and about. We're going to really trust you. You have a purpose. We're going to need your sobriety. And it's a lot for someone sitting there thinking like, I need help, yes, but this is, whoa, these guys are serious. Everybody that's here is sober. Everybody. And you can't really go to other programs and say that. Everybody here wants help and wants to heal and needs each other. That's the philosophy that they have created.
And you're not a bunch of doctors telling them how it is. You actually experienced it. You
Right.
know what it is to be an addict.
They could have kept that to the side. They could have just, you know, been guys who wanted to help, but they openly admitted that they, you know, themselves to struggle with addiction. And I think that was a big comfort for me, if you will, knowing that they had been through what I had been through. Each addiction, I guess, is different, but the basis of it is going to be the same. You know what I mean? It wants you alone. It wants you secluded.
Distracted.
You're self-centered. You're self-seeking. You're all alone inside your own head. And more times than not, you think you're the only person going through it, which is crazy. You know, and then you step into a place like Blue Vase, and they come in with open arms, and they openly admit that they have struggled with addiction and are still working their program. It's amazing because it gives you something, or someone like me who didn't have an idea of what sober looked like or how to fight addiction, and you have somebody to look up to and try to emulate. Next thing you know, as I say all the time, you start just running without feeling your legs because you're doing the next right thing and just doing it.
It is a family. It is a very unique approach, and I don't know any other places like that.
No,
but
you're right.
he comes to meetings every morning and will start his day off at Blue Vase, understanding that he needs to remain connected, and all of our graduates do that as well. They go back to work. They're trying to figure out how to time manage and still be able to balance bills and this and that, and they're being taught that at Blue Vase. But also, I still need to remain connected. This does not stop. It continues. You're just getting your feet wet, if it makes any sense, and now it's time to go get your family back, or now it's time to start a family, take care of your bills, go back to work, you know, and still remain sober. It's very, very challenging, and so we need each other, and the community more importantly than ever.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stop.
No, it doesn't. I think that's what's great too, you know, because I don't know, it's a confidence builder. The foundation that they allow us to build, that we all build together in there, is just, it's phenomenal, you know, because you really do feel like you're cared for, you feel loved, and once you start getting out in the community and seeing that these people aren't shunning you, you know, they're accepting you with open arms, not just because you're there doing service work and they're getting things that they need to have done, but they're interacting with you, rubbing elbows, laughing with you. You're getting to share your story. Like, I don't know how many times I was at the community garden and was able to share my story with some of the ladies out there, and it was just really nice, again, being accepted and just feeling the love from them, and it's amazing.
I do know that you guys are Blanche's boys. That's what she
Yeah.
says. Blanche
Oh,
is
yes.
like, those are my boys. Absolutely. Comes out with her hats.
I love Blanche. She has great hats.
Yes, she does.
she's a sweetheart, and you guys have given them all just a different outlook on life. It was very difficult for them because they're older in the community garden. They're a lot older. They can't do things that they used to be able to do, and for an older generation, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You know, to see them going, I used to be able to get on a ladder, no problem, and paint this whole thing, and then you guys come in and they get to still be a part of it because they're working alongside you. They might not be able to do what you're doing, but they're alongside you at that, and so it helps them just as much as it helps you. I know that.
It's just nice to have them see us for us and who we really are, and that we can start creating our own image, and also getting that confidence of, hey, I can paint, I can do these things, I can have fun in sobriety, this is neat. But that's really, really important for us to be able to remain connected with the community garden, etc. But it's just nice because everybody's got a past. No matter who you are, I don't care if you've had addiction, food problems, pornography, etc., family issues, everybody has a past. and the judgment, you know, it's nice to see that kind of subside and just be able to rub elbows with everybody and understanding that, hey, we've been through so much, our future's even brighter now because we're resilient. We've seen certain things. We've gone through a lot of things. We've gone through these obstacles, and if you believe in something higher power than us, he's just getting us ready for something.
Yeah.
That's really what it boils down to, how we feel.
I think that's, I mean, just what a beautiful opportunity for everybody, all the way around. Now, you guys have been over a year now, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many guys have you got to see through the program now?
I think we have about 20 graduates or so. Yeah, flirting with maybe early, 20, 22, somewhere around there.
What is graduation like?
There's some things they work hard for. There's no doubt about that. And those graduates take it very, very serious.
They should,
It's no joke. And I mean, it's 6 months, but I mean, they just know this is something they're going to carry on forever. And so they have things that they've, well, let's just let the graduates talk about it.
I would say, like,
right?
I don't know, like, I'm an alley cat that they fed that won't go away because it becomes part of who you are. It becomes part of your foundation. It's ingrained within you because they don't just teach you about sobriety, they teach you about life in general. And everybody gets to do that and work alongside each other, borrow each other's wings when they're down, take a story of experience, strength, and hope from someone and find out that they too can do that, or they can share something from their lives that may benefit somebody else. And each program is different. And I say program because when you come in, there's phase work that's being done, and based off of that phase work kind of determines what your program is. And it's not cookie cutter. That's one of the first words that I heard, and that's one of the things I was so thankful about, because I don't want to be treated, because we all feel so different, but I didn't want to be treated as a number. I didn't want to have medications thrown at me. I didn't want to just have the book, so to speak, thrown at me. I wanted someone who really would work with me and find out who I was and why I was doing the things that I was doing and why it was so hard for me to find sobriety. So I think that's what's really cool, because you ask what a graduate is. It's someone who has been through the program, a unique program to them, and have spent the time there and got the work done, put the work done, and dug deep enough to really find themselves. And that's another huge thing that Blue Vase has given me, is not just sobriety. I have found my identity and a purpose in life. And I mean that with my whole heart. It gives me chills to even to say it, because, you know, for 31 years, I mean, I was an addict, will always be an addict, but for 13 years I struggled, you know, never finding more than a month of sobriety. You know, whether it was alcohol or other substances, I hadn't found that. And through all that, I had lost the person that I was prior to, and they've helped me not only find that, but build on that and become a man that I'm now proud to be, you know, which is huge.
And you have a family?
I do have a family. I've got a little girl, 6 years old. She lives in Texas with her mother, but you know, again, that's another thing that they've kind of helped give me back, because in my addiction, you know, I'd kind of lost touch with my priorities, you know, but now I've got a great relationship with my daughter's mother. I'm planning a trip to go visit Lillian in October, so it's just, they've given me my life back, and like I said, my identity and a purpose, and I'm so thankful and grateful for that, and for the guys, you know, that I graduated alongside, that went through and worked the program with me, for the community garden, because it's not one thing. There's so many different things. There's more, again, than just sobriety. I don't know, intangible. It's really hard to even put a word on it, but it's a beautiful thing. It really is, and I'm just glad to have been a part of it.
Yeah, it's exciting. You guys are gonna make me cry. This is amazing. It's just, I'm very proud and very thankful for everything that you guys do. There is a need, and you have filled a huge gap. I work for public health. One of the biggest thing is mental and health due to drugs and a lot of things. Substance abuse falls around that. And you had mentioned this earlier. Everybody thinks you give them pills and you give them a book and you put them in the corner and they'll be fine. No, you have to be involved and chip away at, I guess, the layers to find why this has happened. And that's what you guys do.
We don't cover it up. And that's what it is. We've talked about it. What worked for Jared may not work for me.
Yeah.
And so we find what works for each client. That's why we can't have 40 clients, 100 clients. We have to make sure that we can keep a right number in order to serve them appropriately. If not, they're not going to find the connections that they're really needing. And so it's unique. It's not cookie cutter. Okay, here's where you are. Everybody's done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like, hey, what you're doing is different than what he's doing.
Yeah.
And that's what they take pride in that. Hey, this is going to work for me. and a lot of it's very, very challenging. And man, the things that they have to go through, whoa, sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I'd do it. And then to see them go through it, and then they get that sense of purpose, they get that self-worth, that confidence back, you're like, man, I can do a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
And it's fun. So we just really wanted to show that you can have fun being sober, to be truthful.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted to do, because my life wasn't very fun before that.
When you guys do, I see on Facebook all the fun stuff you guys get to do and going out to Fools Hollow.
Check us out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, check us out. We do a lot of things, and it really is fun. And what's cool is just, I don't know, I love now being a graduate or someone who's been through the program and still continue to go back. Like I said, I'm an alley cat. They're not getting rid of me. And it's really nice to be able to see some of the newer guys come in, day one, day two kind of guys come in, and just watch them change and watch them grow. And I think that's something you got to experience as well, being with and around the guys. It's just from day one to day 180, give or take. Completely different change in behaviors and ways of thinking, because, people, places, and things and old ways of thinking and behavior are what kept us in our addiction and kept us away from sobriety and away from experiencing real life, so it really is amazing to be able to see, these guys flourish and change and grow, and watch Blue Vase change and grow, and just, I don't know, find a niche in this community and really kind of starting to work.
It's the ones that are handpicked that are coming in here. They're the ones. I mean, honestly, the clients, the people, the personalities that we have, it's just amazing, because I feel like they're handpicked. We have nothing to do with it, to be honest with you. Like we have no control when it comes to who's coming to knock on our door. And then just to see from day one them get accepted and then go through all this process, and you're like, this is an amazing person, all of them. But we have we're not out there marketing, we're not doing anything. All we're doing is saying, hey, this is a real place with real people that are really trying to get sober and that are really trying to get connected and take their lives back. Not just a little bit of it, all of it. Take all of it back. And as addicts, we're pretty good at taking, but to take it all back, I feel like that's key. That's critical.
And to turn it into something.
Turn it into
amazing.
everything,
Yeah.
everything that you wanted. Because everything that your addiction took away from you, you can have back. When your mind is hijacked, I mean, I hope that the community understands this. If someone's struggling in your family right now, love them. Because they've built a connection to that drug, that alcohol. Love them. Because they need it.
Because they hate themselves. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And that's exactly what I'm
agree
talking
with
about
that.
right there. Jimmy could easily sit up here and say, well, I did this, we did this, Blue Vase did this, and that. But he's still sitting here just alongside of me saying that, he has nothing to do with it. And it's for one, it's God, and it's us. And that's another thing that I think is absolutely huge about it, because they don't hold anything over anybody's head. They're all rules and guidelines that we have to follow based on our phase of work and so forth. But again, he's someone who is fighting alongside you every single day, not someone standing over you telling you this is what needs or has to be done. It's what are we going to do today to get a win over our addictions. And it's amazing. It changes I's and me's into we's and ours.
We got a lot of friends now. Okay, we got a lot of friends.
A lot of good times.
A lot of good people, that really want to be there, and that want to serve each other. And I think we built our foundation on service.
Yeah.
I mean, what better than what the higher power up there teaches us? He didn't show up to get all the amazing people that already got life figured out. He was there in the slums trying to get the ones that needed it the most.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so if you're all about service, or if you really want to follow that higher power, come give us a hug. Come hang out with us, because we need you more than ever.
Yep.
And that's what it boils down to. We love it. We're grateful.
Very.
This community rocks.
Love it.
They are amazing, and I'm sure they were iffy about us from the get-go, but our clients have been so incredible
Amazing.
to be around,
Yeah.
and they've made Blue Vase what it is today. Not me, not anybody else. They have, because they've been inspired.
That's awesome. Now, on a fun note, and you guys also deal with Marvel and DC, right?
We do.
What's that about, real quick, before we have to go?
Superheroes, man. We feel like taking our lives back from where we've been, and not that it's a bad place. We all have a past, but it's created just an awesome personality. And so we all take on a superhero in our lives, and we're kind of deemed that superhero, so we're all called it throughout our time at Blue Vase. So they've deemed me Captain America, which I have no idea why, right? But they give me Captain America, which they
cool.
call me quite a bit. But each client gets one of those, and they kind of talk about it and why it fits their personality. But really, it's just you have to be a superhero of your own life.
Yeah.
You got to take it back.
Yeah.
And then what unique skill set you have, we use them all together, because if I try to do it alone, I will get slaughtered.
Yep.
I will not win. I can't do this life alone, and we all try to.
Tried that. Yeah.
But he's got one of us. He's a super villain, but he's very strong. He's my man Thanos.
Yeah, which most people may not know who he is. He's the big purple guy from the Avengers. But and what's really cool too is I mean, anybody could come in and I guess select their own superhero and toot their own horn or whatever. But it's not your first day that you get it. It's after they've known you for a little while. And I think what's cool about it too is because we don't feel like superheroes or whatever, or we're really part of a team. But once you get that superhero name and you feel part of this little niche again within Blue Vase, it breaks it down to so many different connections and bonds. It's crazy, but I don't know. It's absolutely amazing. We are superheroes. We're all superheroes. We
all
just
are.
need to recognize and realize that, because addiction free or otherwise, everybody is going through something. Everybody needs everybody, and we all need to love and encourage more so than hide and shame. And I believe that goes for everybody. So that was something Jimmy told me early on as I took on some responsibilities within Blue Vase was, your job is to love and encourage. And I think that's the biggest message that we want to send today is love and encourage. I read a statistic recently that 71% of homes in America have an addict living within them, or they know suffering. You know what I mean? So if you really think about it, that just love and encourage each and every opportunity you get. So.
Thank you guys so much. This was awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it feels great. I'm glad I've been here.
Thank you for watching Safe and Sound, and we'll see you next month.